Can you see me now? Uh, yes, I'm trying to fix it. I keep on irritating myself. Y'all can see me now. So, as I was saying, thank you for letting me know, Lindsay, and everyone else. Um, as I was saying, I'm going to be going live today at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you would like to get a personal reading, if you would like to get energy work, that's a perfect time to do it. And the link is scrolling at the bottom of the screen for our spiritual tea party later today. In addition to that, I do have an event coming up that I really need to start talking about. This is a very, very affordable event. Okay. It's a comfort care meditation. I'm going to be doing quite a bit of energy work during this meditation. It is perfect for people who are in chronic pain. Okay. If you have chronic pain, this is the type of meditation and energy work that will really help with that. It will really, really address some of the underlying overreactivity of your pain receptors, etheric pain receptors, and it hopefully will ease up some of that pain that you're experiencing. Okay. Oh, thank you guys. Those are my grow lights. My plantaloonies needed more light. Needed more light. Oh, oh Lord. Oh my God, someone's coming home. Let me get started with this reading. I'm so hot. I'm just so hot. Okay. Here we go. I asked what this reading was going to be about. And what I heard was that's not it. Oh, yeah, it is it. It is. That's the one. Okay. You won't believe this. Major changes are coming. Okay. Major changes are coming. They're headed your way. These changes will help you go further in your journey, much further. But you have to lose your fear. You have to lose your fear to the degree that you can operate, that you can function, even with that fear present. I don't trust Michael, so I'm going to shuffle it again. He said, stop shuffling. No. Oh, Lord. I saw that bottom card. Yeah, I saw it. It's okay. Okay, one more shuffle. One more shuffle. All right. And then my new favorita. Here we go. I would love to get a card shuffler. I used to have one of those. Let's start. So, Homeland Foundation. There's something going on and it affects your home within yourself. I'm wondering if it's your perception of who you are, your perception of how things are supposed to play out, maybe. It's affecting quite a bit. Quite a bit. You've forgotten a detail of something you needed to remember. There's something, maybe a communication from soul, maybe Maybe it's something more to do with your list of things that you need to do, not just today, but these goals that you have. Have you maybe forgotten a dream or a goal that you had a long time ago because, I don't know, you got caught up with worrying about this or that? It's about time for you to begin remembering that thing, simply because there's this shift that's occurring. It's been occurring, and I think this shift is going to be the very thing that pushes you to the other side of that fear. It's said that everything you could ever want is on the other side of fear. I absolutely believe that. Every time I've experienced fear or hesitation in doing something, in accomplishing a goal that I set, oh my gosh, when I get on the other side of that fear, it's smooth sailing all the way through. I'm able to accomplish everything that I need to accomplish. And I'm wondering if your higher self is basically preparing you to begin accomplishing things. Alchemist, you are totally going to be changing the trajectory of something. There is something that you thought you were going to fail at, something that you didn't think would actually happen. Like you were wishing, hoping, praying, fingers all crossed, toes all crossed. And you were just like, well, I'll just hope, but I'll be realistic. It's probably not going to happen for me, but I'll just, I'll hope. I'll try and stay positive. You're about to make some type of change to take it from a potentiality into a full on goal, into a full on goal. Healer in reverse. I'm wondering if, because the feeling that I get, there's nothing to heal, right? Normally, if I see this card, healer in reverse, I would think, oh, you're not healing. You're not doing the work you need to do. Immediately, it's like, there's nothing to heal. Like, what are you tripping off of? What are you tripping off of? There's nothing for you to heal right now. Right now, what you need to focus on is that forward movement. Forward movement, okay? Grounding in reverse. I think for some, you've taken this concept of grounding and maybe possibly you've turned it into this trying to bury yourself. You don't have to do that. You don't have to bury yourself with work. You don't have to hide yourself away. This is something that sometimes you have to just let yourself be this free spirit, be a floater, be a flyer, be whatever it is, be super de duper high. Okay. In whatever way you want. I'm not going to tell you how to define that. So you have to make sure, though, you're making these decisions for yourself. You're not doing it because someone else is telling you or you're trying to impress other people. Upside down masculine. So Michael says, set this card aside and we will see how that plays out. Set that aside, see how that will play out. Altar, dedication. Oh, Lord. All right. So there is this masculine energy. It doesn't have to be a male, it doesn't have to be a man. It's just a masculine energy that's kind of upside down in reverse. Maybe this is someone who like backpedaled at some point. They backpedaled, they backed away, and they're reaching a point of dedication. It's almost like there's an altar within their heart dedicated strictly to you. They're coming out of this stage of incubation and they're approaching with respect. Okay. So whatever this is, I'm gonna just set it aside. That's just I think it's a little tidbit that got tossed in there. Okay. Freedom, breaking the chains. So this is a lot to do with breaking those mental chains. Those mental shackles are far worse than any physical ones you could ever have. For some of us, it's like I think you're getting to a point where you're realizing Why did I ever listen to a specific individual? They convinced me that I wasn't enough. They convinced me that I couldn't do anything. They convinced me of all of these things that really I didn't need to be convinced of. I really didn't need someone to tell me that I wasn't enough. And it's like you're breaking those mental chains. They've had you very confined into believing like that you're some type of betrayer. It's like I feel it in my chest. No, not the stuff that someone's attempting on me right now. I'm talking about the feeling. Michael says I have to clarify. The feeling of this person just kind of like being made to believe about themselves that they are a betrayer, that they are abandoning someone just because they're realizing this is not working for me. This is unhealthy for me. Right. So, I mean, if you are that person, really just own that. Own that. This is a realization you're coming to. This is not something another person is trying to convince you of. You have to be very, very careful of your beliefs that exist because other people convinced you to believe it. Don't ever take anything I say in as your truth unless it's just instant, like, yes, oh my gosh, I feel it. I resonate. This, yes, yes, you're explaining my life right now. Then, yeah, okay, it probably applies to you. But don't try and convince yourself. Trying to convince yourself is a form of low grade lies because it's not really the truth, but you're trying to play it as the truth. And sometimes when you do that, that's the very thing that gives rise to the manifestation of the struggles, you know? Like when you convince yourself that you're a horrible person, and then all of a sudden you feel obligated to be that horrible person. And then it hurts you because now you have confirmation that you're that horrible. You're not a horrible person. I promise you. The truly horrible people only watch me when they want to do witchcraft on me. Still doesn't work. So card number 11, invention, burning with passion. So it's in reverse. I don't think this is something you invented. I'm going to be really honest. I don't feel like what is going on with this? Just stick yourself. I cannot. I hold on, y'all. I cannot see. I can't just keep. You know what? I'm not playing with you, hair. I'm not playing with you today, Mr. Hair. And because that will kill my OCD if it's not even, I gotta put one on this side too, just because I can feel it. There, we're even. I think someone is really thinking that they invented this whole situation in their head. I don't think you invented anything. I think you're reaching a point of realization of exactly what it is you've been enduring. If it's love, you don't have to endure. If it's love, you don't have to endure. You have to go through challenging moments so that you can learn more about yourself, about the other person. Yes, those moments will challenge you for a period until you have learned what you need to learn, right? But to say that you have to endure something, that's a bit nutty for me. Is this the same, this bitch? Okay, I got him this time. um, you don't have to endure when it's true love. You choose to stay. You choose to stay because there's stuff that you know you still have to learn together. Love is not about ownership. When someone begins to try and convince you that because they love you, they now own you and you're obligated, or else you're abandoning them, and all these other manipulative tactics, run. Whether you understand what's going on or not, run. That's my advice. Run. Run real far, block them, and no, nope. Nope. You know? Nope. Yeah, no, I wouldn't tolerate that. But of course, I'm just me. These are just my opinions. You do what you feel you need to do. But at the end of the day, if you're in a situation where you have to endure something, as long as you choose to stay, you are punishing yourself. So if you're choosing to stay in that, you have to ask yourself, why are you punishing yourself? Are you staying because this person is willing to punish you? Is that what it is? Is that what it is? All right. The self gathering your power, but it's in reverse. It's in reverse. I would say for some people, you have a succubus. I mean, I didn't feel that energy before, but it kind of feels like it now. This succubus who just like totally vacuums you dry. They're a wet vac. They're vacuuming all your juices. Okay, here's the thing. Y'all are going to decide whatever you're going to decide. So I'm just going to move it forward. For some of you, this is an indication you're dealing with a sexual demon. Okay. That's just that. That's the message that I got. So I'm not even going to joke around about it. You're dealing with a demonic energy, a demonic portal of a person. Okay. For some of you, you're with an organic portal. If you don't know what that is, you need to start Googling. A Google. That's what you need to do is a Google. Resilience, finding your limits. Those icy words you hear from the person who's doing this to you should cause you to feel warm and tingly inside because they're giving you the confirmation you need to choose yourself for the first time ever. First time ever. It's time to choose yourself. Can we move forward from this subject? I want to talk about good things. I want to talk about good things for real. Destruction in reverse. Releasing of your anger. So here, okay, destruction in reverse, right? Releasing of your anger. What this is telling me is that you're not just willy-nilly releasing your anger. You are actually channeling that as a type of fuel to make decisions and put action behind those decisions. That's a good thing. I like that. So it's not a type of destruction. It's more of this, like, I don't know. I don't know. Deconstruction for reconstruction. Oh my God. Thank you, Nikki. Paul's Nikki, right? Did you guys get married? Oh my God, hold on. I'm sorry. Pause the reading. I want to see. Did y'all get married? Girl, I need to catch up with you. Oh my God, congratulations. When did you guys get married? Okay, let me not be all up in your business. I already put you on the screen on the spot. I'm sorry. I should not have done that. All right. Congratulations. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me just stop. Let me just stop. Card number 20, returning, going with the flow. Ooh. Ooh, this is someone walking away from something. They're not returning to that same situation. If this is you, you're no longer willing to fetch the ball they keep throwing. This dark dragon of a fucking demon whore. Dark dragon demon whore behavior right there. You're no longer going to fetch the ball they keep throwing. You're no longer going to go with the flow of things. You're making decisions. You're empowering yourself. You're just going through all the motions. Keep doing it, boo. Keep doing it. Card number 27, culmination, completion, and renewal. So you're completing whatever this is. You're kind of done with it, or whoever needs to hear that. Good. If you're done with it, you're going to need to start acting and making decisions like you are. Okay. So, since yesterday, for some reason, my ass is on fire to go home shopping. Don't know how I'll be buying this home, but I've been shopping for homes. Like I said, if you are done, start acting and making plans like you're done. I am done blocking abundance from coming in. I am done withholding all of these beautiful potentialities that rightfully belong to me because I put the effort into it. I do the actions that are necessary to achieve things, right? So yesterday I was having conversation with Michaela and I was like, Mika, Mika, Michaela, Ella, Ella, A, can you please tell Adonai Father, please tell Father I'm ready for a house. No, I'm serious. I was telling Michael, like, can you just like put that up there? I would like a house now. I know I've said for quite a few years, I don't want to own a home, but I kind of am done moving. So the next move, I would like a house. I have specific parameters that must be kept in consideration. Um, Internal square footage. I also need specific amounts of acres because I don't want to see neighbors, and I would like it within a specific budget. Clearance, please. I would also like enough acreage that I could build a berm to shoot outdoors. I said that. And Michael's like, what else would you like? Oil rubbed finishes and solid wood doors. I would like a wall of windows and a catwalk to observe the landscape. He's like, what else you got? And I'm like, you fucking, are you making a list? Are you writing this down? I'm not playing with you. These are all requirements. And he's like, mm-hmm. How about the ceilings? Cathedral. We don't play with vaulted. We want cathedral. I can't have a wall of windows if it's merely vaulted. I don't need 3 stories of living space. I only need 3 stories of windows for my plants. And so he said, start looking. And I was. And I was like, this is not. I put in all my specs for the minimums. This is not clearance prices. This, I see too many digits in this price. And he's like, he was cracking up. I was like, motherfucker, I'm not joking with you. This is too many digits. There's too many digits. Too many digits. And he said, well, you need to get to work. And that's why I wasn't going to live stream today, but he said I must work for it. So I will. But that's the thing. All seriousness, if really I'm ready to purchase, well, I'm not ready, but like mentally. Does this count? Does this count? Is this enough to buy a house? Is it? No, it's not. It's the start. It's the start. So I'm giving myself like a year. I'm giving myself a year to get everything in line to go ahead and do that. If I am done moving, I need to start acting like it. I need to start acting like it. I need to start preparing all the things that are necessary to go ahead and do the things that I want to do. Right? Right. Excuse me. So if you are done with old cycles, you need to start acting like it. You need to do the actions. Okay. You need to go all the way through. Y'all, I was like, oh, this one is cute. 75 acres. And you've got a basketball. You've got a tennis court. You've got a whole motherfucking baseball field already done for the cheap price of $10 million. And I was like, bitch, good luck selling that shit. I am not paying that. I think dreams are beautiful, but in order for it to be a goal, it has to be something that maybe you have to work a little harder, but all that work can actually help you to achieve it. Right? So, you know, I'm just saying, I'm just saying, there are things that need to be considered, but you also have to have a sprinkling, like salt guy, the salt guy. You need to sprinkle some salty reality on that too, though. Okay. So, if you're done with that circumstance, be done with it for real and push forward, walk forward. At the very least, get up, stand up. At the very least, you have to stand up. I think for some, they're afraid to stand up because, oh, is that what it is? Is that what it is? That you're afraid to stand up because you're keeping that person kind of as like a security blanket. And that's how they have their hold on you. If you keep this person as a security blanket, they're blanketing your whole life. That's how they control your life because they know that there's a need for them in your life. And that's why they feel they can do that to you. Mm. Mm. That's a hard decision that needs to be made. If you're not ready to really take that chance on yourself, they're not going to give you permission to do that and then leave the door open for you to come back. Just so you know, right? They're going to go out of their way to punish you because this feels like it's sort of a narcissistic um, thing that someone's in. Like it's a very maltreatment, very much emotional manipulation, mental games, that type of situation. And it feels like this person has money. And so if they have money and they have that type of, that's wickedness. That's just flat out wickedness. Money paired with wickedness, the money will amplify the wickedness. And the sheer volume of money that they have access to or in their account, that amplifies that wickedness. Me personally, I preferred to be homeless than to deal with that. I don't know what you should do. But I tell you, I got to this space of loving myself and achieving for myself by going through that very low point. And it wasn't even as painful and destructive as people would think. It was a low point because I felt like I was taking too long to learn the lessons that that period in my life was teaching me. I still look back at that period of my life and look at it so fondly. I love that part of my life. It was such a profound part of my life. Man, man, oh man. Mm. Which reminds me, I was talking to you guys in a very late night live stream a few nights ago, and I was talking about wanting to begin the process of creating the projects that are necessary to provide some relief to the homeless community of either Denver or Fort Collins doesn't really have Longmont. Longmont has a pretty large um, homeless community. And I say either Denver or Longmont, Colorado, because that's the community that I was a part of when I was homeless. And I want to be able to reconnect with those communities. Not so much Denver, more like Longmont. But it's just Denver homeless population is so much larger than Longmont. I'm willing to drive the hours into the state um, to do this. And if you are willing to assist with that in some way, if you are familiar with where Longmont, Colorado is, um, let my team and I know. I want to start coordinating things. I want to prepare everything while we still have time to prepare things for the holidays that are coming up. I would love to provide them some support through the holidays. Maybe we can start talking about what type of donations can come in, clothing. Um, a lot of homeless people would benefit from a package of socks, wet wipes. The non-scented baby wipes are amazing. Also, hand sanitizer, and snack bars, things like that, like very nutrient dense, easy to carry um, dry foods, right? Because oftentimes they can't cook, it's hard. I don't know if you guys know this, because some people might be like, well, they can go on EBT, they can go on food stamps. Y'all, food stamps is not for hot food. It's not for hot food. They can accept food stamps at places like 7-Eleven, but they can't purchase like an already cooked hot dog. That's not allowed for EBT. I don't know if y'all know that. People think that EBT and all of these types of state government aid, it's like a free ride. It's not. You have to prove that you qualify for this. It's not free money. They're not just giving out free money. Your dignity is taken from you. You have to show all of your financial documents. You often have to also do a lot of like community hours type things. You have to go to workshops and classes, and they're trying to force you into working again, which I completely understand that. But we have to be clear, these are not just free money benefits that people are getting. Okay. And even with that, people think like, oh, you can go on Section 8. Pretty much every single state, Section 8 has either been completely closed down, or the waiting list is several years long. So there's a lot of things that are going on within communities. And the reality is this: a large portion of the United States is maybe one or two paychecks away from homelessness themselves. Okay. One or two paychecks away, one catastrophic thing away, one car wreck away, one engine failure, transmission failure away from homelessness. Let's be very real here. This is the very reason why I don't want to build our ministry on your backs. This is why I'm not like consistently just asking for donations. It's very beautiful and very appreciated when you do donate. Don't get me wrong. I deeply appreciate it. But because I know you're probably also having a hard time already, I don't want you to feel obligated to do that. I want corporations to do that. And they will. They absolutely will. But for now, until we can get all of that together, I mean, oh, really, Mary? You can now buy roasted chicken with Snap in Texas. Oh, but Snap, I think, is different from EBT. Snap is more for mothers with children 5 years old and younger, especially if you're breastfeeding um, or have toddlers. So, I mean, but I haven't looked into the specifics too much in the past few years. I'm just speaking from years ago. That's what I know. The beautiful thing is you can use EBT at farmers markets. Nice. You can get healthy food, but many don't have access to farmers markets, right? Did you guys know that a large portion of farmers cannot get that organic certification, USDA certification for organically grown food, because it costs thousands upon thousands of dollars, but they still grow their food organically. And if you go to a farmer's market and you simply ask the farmer, hey, is this organic? They can let you know. They'll let you know. Is it wick? See, y'all. You're right. Snap is EBT. EBT is the card. That's Wick. That's right. See? um, my thing is that I really want to begin pushing, really pushing the change, pushing it, pushing it, pushing it. Okay. There's a lot of things that need to happen, and it won't happen if we don't begin putting action behind it. We have to first make that decision to act before we can actually act. Now, you're right, Mary. SNAP is for all the states. Hello. My brain only functions part way most days. Y'all love me anyways. Don't worry. So intuition in reverse. This is telling me that for whoever this reading is for, you're already starting to feel it, right? To really, really feel all of the things that have been in your face this whole time, but you haven't wanted to see it. That doesn't make you weak. It just means you're avoiding, and recognizing that you're avoiding and that avoidance is a very thing that's causing the struggle and the suffering. That's super powerful. So that point of recognition is a very powerful point, and it sets the stage for everything you do after that. Growth in reverse. The situation that some of you are in is preventing your growth. It's very heavily affecting that growth. It's causing a lot of unnecessary distortions. It's causing people to make decisions that don't honor their actual needs. Okay. You have to honor your needs more than the demands of a tyrant. Um, fire cleanser, fire cleanser in reverse. This is about really putting out that flame. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Someone is trying to put out your sacred flame. They're trying to break your spirit. Ooh, yo. If you are a wild man or woman, never allow yourself to be tamed. Never, never, never give in. Don't allow your wildness to be altered by someone else's demands, by their manipulations. A wild thing must be allowed to stay wild. A wild thing must be loved in its full glory. That's just how I see it. And I'm not talking, see, I'm a wild thing, okay? You can't control me. I'm a wild thing. That's just how I am. But me being a wild woman has nothing to do with disrespecting my husband, has nothing to do with dominating him, right? Has nothing to do with that at all, at all, at all, at all. Has nothing to do with that. So I feel like someone is trying to convince you that who you are as you are is disrespectful to their demands of your compliance and submission. That's not an equal partnership. That is not healthy. That is not something that will grow you. That is not something you should invest into with your heart, your mind, your body, or your soul. It's just not, because it will never pan out the way you want it to. It's not going to get better because that's who they are. That's the dynamic that was established. So we have to just be very realistic about what we're in. For a lot of empaths, we think that if we just love someone enough, if we are present enough, that things will get better. That somehow you have the responsibility of healing someone else's toxicity. Now that's a surefire way to take in their toxicity as your own. You know. Um, yeah, no, you can definitely still join the Soul Sanctuary monthly recurring contribution. Nope, no, that's ongoing. It's definitely an ongoing thing. Tomorrow, we're actually going to be having another soul sanctuary um, private chat, and those are always super duper amazing. They tend to be a couple hours long because we get so caught up in chatting and everything, um, that we're there for quite some time. Yes, thank you, Mr. Friday. You can join at the Soul Sanctuary.love. So, card number 17, Galactic Assistance. The aliens are coming to help you. The aliens are coming to help you because I think you really need some assistance. I do, just because I can be so super duper set in my stance about those types of situations, maybe situations you find yourself in, does not mean it's an easy thing to deal with. Okay. Oftentimes it's hard to leave because it's a hard situation and you have difficult options presented to you. But see, I see life in this way. It's difficult when you add more weights to the bar. But if you add more weights, one plate at a time, you then acclimate and can add even more weight, and acclimate and can add even more weight until you get to the point where you are lifting your entire load, and not just lifting it, but walking it across the space. You have to start somewhere. You don't get to your end destination by making one decision and then you're there. No, your one decision will initiate the entire process that requires many decisions to be made until one day you see you are there, that you're finally there. Where is there? Oh, Katie Ann, please send prayers my way. I'm towards the end and it's difficult. So, Katie, thank you for sharing that vulnerability, first and foremost. I'm sure that's difficult to ask for help, even for just prayers, because then for many, we have this fear of, if we say, talk about the help that we need, um, people will see us as a weak person, as someone who allowed this, who that, all these judgments. Don't listen to any of them. Unless they've escaped a situation themselves, don't listen to any of them. None of them, not a single one. Okay? So here's my thing. Continuing with the workout analogy. When I've been lifting weights and I've been lifting heavy and hard, it's the last few reps that are the most difficult, right? It burns the most. My muscle shakes. I'm at a point where I think I'm going to fail. I'm going to drop this weight and I'm going to injure myself. But I never do. Why? Because I don't rush through those final reps. That's when I'm the most present, the most cognitive of the movements I make, the alignment of the different components, the alignment of the weight to my body, so that I can make these movements in the most powerful way, most safest way possible. Everything has to be aligned. And here's the thing, even though I align everything perfectly to greatly minimize potential injury, it still hurts. It burns, and it burns even more to the point where I can't lift it anymore. And then I know I'm done. It's at that point that I submit to the will of my soul. We're done. This is all we can do. And when we set that weight down, if we allow ourselves to take in what's necessary, the nutrition, the emotional support, the family that is waiting for us to free ourselves, those types of things, I find that our growth becomes exponential. It explodes. In the world of muscles, when you work that muscle to the point of failure, not before it, but to the point of failure, where you cannot lift a single one more, not mentally, not emotionally, I'm talking about physically, you have created the maximum amount of micro tears within your muscle fibers. And when you're done and you take in the proper nutrition, the proper amino acids, your body now has all of that to pack into that muscle tear. These are micro tears. You can still function. You will be sore, but I promise you, the growth you will experience. Wow. Wow. If I had pictures of my ass, I would put it on the screen because I see women half my age taking a year, 2 years to experience the explosive growth that I was able to do in 2 to 3 months. That's what you're doing right now, Katie Ann. You are growing in a way that people who have grown over a period of time with less struggle, yeah, that's good. They grew. It's not a competition, it's not a comparison. It's a realization that you are going through a very condensed period of explosive growth that's going to be very hard. It's going to be hard. It's going to challenge you. But oh my God, the growth, you will never return back to that. You just won't. I haven't properly worked out and maintained my muscles in about 18 months at this point. Compared to where I was at when I was really pushing, my ass is flat. Compare my ass now to what it was before I began to invest in myself and my health. No, yo, I got a mini dunk. It's not the mega dunk that I had, but it's not this flapjack either. It's this space that works for now. And I'm not talking about aesthetics. I'm talking about your ass muscles stabilize your pelvic girdle. It stabilizes you. See, that's the thing. What some people do for aesthetics, Katie Ann, you're doing for survival. And that survival is necessary. That's the precursor to thriving. Not if. It's not if. It's not if you can survive this. You will survive this. You have no other option. And that's a beautiful thing about life. When we allow ourselves to see that it's in those moments that we need to succeed for ourselves, that life leaves us no other options. So don't get bitter. Don't get upset. Don't feel disappointed. Feel empowered. Like my life is ensuring I get through this. That's why it's taken away all the other options. It's taken away all the distractions. It's ensuring that I choose one thing, my growth. You know, you have to allow yourself to grow. Katie Ann, is there any other way that we can support you as a community? What can help to facilitate you leaving? And is your partner aware of you watching this live stream? Because if your partner is aware, that's not going to be good. That's definitely not going to be good. Would it facilitate your safe departure if you have somewhere to go, um if there are maybe funds available? I mean, what would facilitate it? And don't be ashamed to ask for help, and we can try and come together as a community and see what we can do. I know you've shared some things in the past live streams, excuse me, things that are not just disagreements, opposing positions on certain topics. You've shared some, like, girl, you should not be treated that way. You should not be treated that way. Okay, good. Good. Don't tell anyone unless you know for a fact he has not wooed them. If he knows that you're leaving, he's going to harm you physically. Okay? Don't tell anyone who wouldn't hide you away. So, and it's hard. Yeah. Money is the only thing keeping you there. Oftentimes that's what's used. The dependency for the cost of living is what's used. It's hard. It's hard. You'll find a way through this. And if there's something you can think of that you know, our community can come together and create some type of supportive structure for you, um, put it in the comments. Okay. And I know Katie Ann is not the only woman going through this. I know for a fact that you are not the only one. Quite a few of you have shared what you've been going through. Um, it's hard. It's hard. And maybe for anyone who feels like you're the only one going through the things you're going through, um, just know that you're not. You're really, really not. Many of us don't want to talk about these types of things publicly. It's hard to. For many, it's embarrassing to, and you don't have to be embarrassed. Never be the holder of other people's sins. Okay? Never be the holder of other people's sins. You don't have to hold and protect people's dark secrets. You just don't. That's not your job. Oh my God. So he got an actual diagnosis. That's bad. That's bad. That's real bad. He's not a malignant narcissist, is he? Because it feels like he is. I'm not diagnosing him. I'm basing my statement on the energy that I feel coming from him, the energy that wafts from you, because his energy has very much infiltrated your field, and it's like you're a belonging, you're his chattel, you're his, he can put you where he wants you, like that kind of uh, okay. Arcturian activation in reverse. Arcturians are master healers. You cannot heal yourself until you can see your wound clearly, right side up. So, this is going to require a lot of introspection, a lot of really just taking a look at what you have allowed yourself to be convinced of. It's not about blame. It's about recognizing where you are, what you're surrounded by, and how it's affected your thoughts and your perception. Okay. Malignant narcissists don't just have a bad attitude, they have the capacity to actually um, not just harm you. Malignant narcissist, if he's a true malignant narcissist, they have the capacity to unalive you. So be very careful. Be very, very careful. Like, very, very careful. Okay. I don't mess around with malignant narcissists. If malignant narcissist is involved in that equation, you do not leave until you can leave forever, permanently, and disappear. Because I don't want you guys to think that some court order is going to be enough to stop a malignant narcissist. It's not enough. That will just enrage them and justify whatever it is they plan to do. Malignant narcissists are not super common, but they're more common than we realize. Okay. So be careful, Katie Ann. Be very, very careful with who knows what you're doing. Just the knowing that you are thinking this, considering this, is enough to be punished. And you know that. It's enough to make sure you don't have the ability to leave. I'm talking about physically harming you to the degree that maybe you can't walk for quite some time, so therefore you can't leave. Or, like just craziness, craziness. You got to be very careful with that. Very, very, very careful with that. And to everyone, you have to really consider, you have to really, really consider the risks involved with the decisions you make if you're in a really bad situation like that. It's very easy for me to be like, nope, it's time to go. It's not so easy for you to do that. I'm not trying to make excuses, but I am being very transparent and very real with you right now. If you are in a situation like that, do not endanger yourself by attempting something you are not prepared to do. Take the time to do what you need to do in a safe manner. I do know people um, who have the ability to assist with transporting you to, a safer location, and people you can stay with. If children are involved, that makes things not so easy. You cannot just leave with a child if they are the parent. That's going to be a world of craziness, okay? So you have to really know what you're doing. Some of the things that people can do, and I really urge you to use your discernment, because this can go a way that you don't want it to go. But some of the different things you can do is you can go to a battered women's shelter or call them, let them know your situation, and ask, what are your legal rights? How can they assist? Things like that. Battered women's shelters oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes already work closely with law firms, like legal offices that advocate for, battered persons. This can be a man or a woman. It's not just one um, gender that this type of thing happens to. But you can call a battered woman shelter, and they might be able to advise you better, because laws are different in all states. Um, like, for example, and this was years ago, I think in the state of Arizona, uh, if they allow you to leave with the child, like leave the house with the child, they've basically, in one way or another, um, in the law's eyes, they've given up their parental rights. They said, fine, sure. And so you can go. And I'm just like, I'm not a lawyer, I don't know any of that, but you have to be very, very careful, because if you leave the house with the child and without the consent of the other parent, in some states that constitutes a criminal activity. Okay, so be careful. You guys need to make sure that you get information um, from the people who can help. Okay. Enlightening Your Life says, I've noticed that there isn't as much help when it hasn't been physical, because there's so much physical stuff going on that a lot of their resources go towards those who struggle through the physical portion of it. Um, but who knows? Maybe you guys can get connected with, different types of programs that exist, and all you have to do is look for the programs. There are smaller types of programs that are kind of like halfway houses, um, where they will make sure to hide your identity, so that way, if you have someone that is really that dangerous, they won't they won't be the one, um, they can't find you. Um, Card number 44, renewal. Renewal. Allowing yourself to pull in your energy and renew your sense of self. Receiving sigil, allowing yourself to accept any type of help and whatnot. He doesn't want our house. He only wants it for money. If you stay in that house, he knows exactly where you are and he can access you at any time. And if he's leaving and the name of the house is under his name, or he gets mail there, that's technically his residence. And so just know there's a lot of manipulative things that happen. Like, for example, I knew someone who was like, it's my car, this and that, but the title is under his name. And so she's like, it's my car. He said, I can keep the car. I'm not giving him the car. I need a car and this and that. And guess what? That was the very thing. That was the string that would get tugged. Like, oh, you don't want to do what I say? And we're not together, but you still need to do what I say. I'm going to have that car repossessed. But she's the one paying for it. Name's under his. So, things like that. It's just one of those things. Card number 1, Blu-ray Awakening. Allowing yourself to come to the realization that you are so much more than just the human that you see yourself to be right now. You are so much more than that. And there are great potentialities that are headed your way. But if you're focused on the things that don't matter, the things that really won't add to your growth will just distract you, then it won't happen. The trap. See, there's a trap. There is potentially an offer that's being presented, and a lot of this trap has to do with this interference that's not going to come in the way that you think it's going to come. Whatever this is, it's definitely something that's a trap. Okay. Let's see. All right. Unconditional love and hope in reverse. These two concepts, unconditional love and hope, are quite possibly some of the things that might be delaying the changes that are necessary. So temper that with discernment. Really allow yourself to discern what's going on. It feels like there's a lot of beautiful potentiality that is right there. It's like potential is reaching out its hand to knock on your door. But if you're going to pretend you're not home, that potential is not going to come through. Card number 2, balance. Allowing yourself to remain very balanced within your expectations, within your perception, that balance between the potentiality and the reality, allowing your intuition to very deeply guide you, right? This is a second intuition card. Allowing that intuition to show you which direction to go. You have to have compassion for yourself. You have to have compassion for yourself, and you have to make sure that this compassion will transcend any programs that you have running in your thoughts. Many of us have programs, these recordings from other people's opinions of us through our entire life. Sometimes those are the things that cause you to falter right before you manifest what you want. But if you make sure what you want is in alignment with what you need, because oftentimes for people, what they want and what they need are two completely different things, right? If those two things can be the same thing, then it becomes something that's much easier to manifest. Your self-worth will become evident when you begin walking your truth. Okay. You have to start walking your truth in order for you to get to that point of authenticity. Authenticity is really the only way you can get to a place of internal peace. Anything short of true authenticity, not manufactured authenticity, not any of the bullshit that you see on social media. And yes, 99.999999999% of the spiritual stuff you see on social media is just utter bullshit. It is contrived bullshit to make the posting person feel superior and the people reading it feel inferior. It's bullshit. Okay. So just take that in. And whoever's thinking this, so then what you're saying is bullshit. If you want it to be bullshit, it can be. I totally respect that. I'm not even offended, seriously. But actually mean it. You know what I mean? Don't just question that to be combative, to be in my culture, what's considered a contravida. You know, like actually question it. I encourage you guys to question me. I encourage you to question the messages. Does this message resonate with me? Is this applicable to my life? You know, don't just take it in like you thought I'd be offended. I'm not. See, that's the thing. That's the difference between me and a lot of these people who are on social media. I'm not here to build an audience or be right or be worshiped. I'm here to give messages so Michael can shut the fuck up and I can get on with my day. So now you know. It's time to let go of a lot of these things that we are holding on to. How are you going to receive something if your hand is grasping something else, right? You're clinging on to something so hard and you're clinging on to it because you're afraid of failure, you're afraid of abandonment, rejection, um, or maybe you're afraid of succeeding because success is something that's so foreign to you. Uh, I don't know about that. You've been successful in convincing yourself that you're less than what you are. You've been successful in believing the things that other people are telling you, which is probably not even based on actual factual truth. It's just their opinion. You've been successful in that. You've been successful in a lot of the things that have been hurtful and harmful to you in your perception of yourself. So it's not that you're incapable of success, it's that you continue to choose to be successful in the things that are detrimental to you. And if you have the capacity to be successful with that, you have the capacity to be successful with the opposing polarity of that, which is true success, a type of success that can better feed you, better house you, better stabilize you within your life. I feel like all of us are capable of this. It's just a matter of what do you believe? What do you want? Something is about to shift right now. There's this like building intensity. It's an increasing intensity. And I think for quite a few, um, you're being turned 1 degree at a time into a better position to better see and better receive a lot of this abundance. Financial mitosis is about to take place. Do you know what financial mitosis is? These are nothing but cycles that occur. And this financial mitosis, if you're on the proper side of that separation that occurs, you will set yourself up for abundance that is generational. You're going to be the future old money. Do you want that? Are you ready for that? Because the world's about to change. Do you want to be the future old money? Time to change our relationship with money. People think that to be spiritual, you have to be impoverished. That is a lie. The more financial stability you have, the more time you can devote to cultivating the gifts that you came into this life to gift unto others. Your financial standing is a very powerful thing in a world based on money. Do not listen to the people who tell you, like, you should be doing this for free. I am doing it for free. You're compensating me for my time. You're not paying for my gift. You're compensating me for my time, and my time is precious because guess what? And I had to learn this the hard way. The time I spend with clients is time I spend away from my children and my husband. It's time that my husband has to be outside of the house to work so he can be paid for his time. And unless the people telling me that I should do these things for free are buying my groceries and paying my rent, buying clothes for my children, we don't live a fancy life. We don't. We don't live a fancy life. Unless you're doing all that for us and also providing for the other people that I choose to provide for, I'm going to kind of need you to mind your own business. There's no reason why you have to exist with a financial choker on your neck. None. That was a program that was instilled because they don't want you to develop yourself and your skills. And you don't have to do energy work to be a spiritual person. You simply have to unplug from that system. Ain't that some shit? How could you ever call yourself advanced when you propagate the same mental slavery that they have used since our forefathers, 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 forefathers? It's the same mental slavery. I don't think so, yo. I don't think so. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. Allow your abundance to come in. Have it come in with no shame. If you didn't earn that in a shameful way, why are you ashamed? I had so many spiritual people trying to shame me for working 7 days a week, 16-hour days, and being reasonably compensated for the amount of work that I do. And it didn't matter that I was donating much of what I was earning, still with a tax liability on my ass because I wasn't a nonprofit. Ain't that some shit? And these are people who have never fed someone else, trying to convince me that I'm a bad person. If you consistently help others, if you're the type of person who, if you have, everybody has, claim it, pull in all that money, get on the right side of that financial mitosis that is occurring. Start watching all of the videos that are necessary to understand financial structures, how to invest, what to do for a side hustle. Make it a point to do that now. Because once it splits, there will be the haves and the have nots. And I want to have a lot so I can give a lot to the have nots. Because guess what? The richer I become, the richer humanity is too. So I'm no longer going to do any of that shit of, no, I can't, no, this, no, that, I can't receive and I can't. No, no, no more. No more, no more, no more, no more, no more. No more of that. No more. As a matter of fact, I didn't mention it, but I should right now. Let me see if I have it on here. I think I do. Here it is. If you have it in your heart to help us with the construction of the Soul Sanctuary, this is a physical campus location. It's a hidden campus location for the safety of the people who will choose to be a long-term resident there. Please, whatever amount you can send, please do. You just go to that link and it takes you to where you can donate. Because the ministry is a recognized ministry, it's an actual nonprofit. Whatever you donate It's actually tax deductible. It doesn't go to me. It goes strictly to Soulwork Synergistics, and that's run by an entire board. I'm at the head of the board, but I do not own the nonprofit. Beautiful thing about nonprofits, it's a community effort. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So definitely, if you go there, you can help build the sanctuary. If you want to support us in some way, this right here, the soul sanctuary.love, you can go ahead and join the recurring contribution. It's not a membership. So, with that, you do get access to areas of gratitude from our ministry. These are depending on your tier of contribution every month. You'll get access to higher and higher levels of spaces of gratitude from us. These are exclusive meditations, exclusive talks, exclusive energy work sessions, and things like that. Okay. And again, that is completely separate from me and my company. That is strictly for the ministry. Okay. So I want to make sure that's a complete separation. That is not run through any of my payment processors. It is run strictly through Soulworks Synergistic payment processors. And that makes you qualified for a tax deduction. Okay. You can claim that on your taxes if you're in the United States. It's time for us to really allow this change to occur within our lives. It's more than just the need to talk about the changes. It's all about allowing yourself to experience these changes, really enter into this new space within yourself. As a matter of fact, I want to do something with you guys really quick. Breathe very deep and very slow. Okay. I want you to feel the sanctuary within yourself. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to uncloak your sanctuary that exists within yourself. Okay. If you don't want to participate in this, it's perfectly fine. You don't have to. I will always honor your sovereignty. Your higher self gets the final decision of whether or not you will experience this. I'm going to be pushing some frequency, and that frequency will cause you to become aware of this space that exists within you. This is a sanctuary of your soul. This is where your soul goes to kind of rest and relax and rejuvenate after witnessing the world being the way the world is. So breathe deep and slow. Feel that in your low belly, expanding up to your chest, rising up to the back of your head, up to your crown, pulsating in your palms. Feel it in your throat. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. How do you guys feel? I'm suddenly super hot. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. Ooh, I feel expansion, pressure, and tingles. Mm, mm. It's a lot of energy just running through me. Such a beautiful space. For me personally, it looks and feels like a space that one day I'll live at. Mm. It's like I already know where I'm going to live at some point. Ooh, I love this. It's a hard feeling to describe. It's like a knowing expanded through my being. Light and left hand is pulsating. Tingles all around, wonderful feeling, truly thankful. Oh, the feeling is still rushing through me. It's a beautiful, beautiful feeling. Okay. So, crown energy and shadow self, allowing those two parts to come together as one, right? The shadow being and the crown energy coming together, creating a totality, really allowing yourself to get solid within your life, to be as solid as possible for the life that your own soul is creating for you. This is a life that's being created just for you. So if you're the type of person that's like, oh no, it's going to be for everyone, stop. Stop. Stop right there. Just stop. Stop. It's okay for something to be just for you. It's okay. It really, truly is. It's okay. Allow yourself to expect nothing but just for you for now. I think for many of us that we have that mindset of everyone else has to benefit, because I'm like that too. Sorry, guys. Let me just breathe. Okay. All right. So here I am, centered. Do you know why it's taken me so long to get to this point where I'm finally preparing to build the sanctuary? Because I've been talking about this since around 2016, 2017 is when I first began publicly talking about it, right? That's quite a few years, 5 or 6 years that I haven't done anything with this. Why? Because of the very mindset of if I have, everyone needs to have too. I need to give everything away. And through those years, I've had periods of clarity where it's like, I understand, soul. I'm not supposed to just help one person at a time because that eats up all of my resources doing that. What I need to do is save all of this money and put it towards this sanctuary that can have people who can help me to help other people. And that way we can help tons of people at one time. Uh, that's what stopped it. That simple mindset of, I need to help other people first. Where has that gotten me? Not much further in my journey of being the purpose I was created to be. Right? Yes. Yes. Ocean lover. I'm very collectively oriented regarding uplift, yet some things are just for us as individuals, and nothing is selfish about that. Yes. Yes, because a lot of these things that come to us are simply steps that take us to the next step, that take us to the next step, that take us to the next step. It's a lot easier to be at a higher position and pull someone up than it is to be beneath them and try and shove them up by their butt. Try both. See which one is easier. Try both. So allow yourself to rise to your proper position. And when you get there, when you get to your proper position, then you can begin pulling people up. Not before. Not before. Okay? Right. Elijah says it's possibly because we want to see everyone win. But here's the thing. How do you know what's winning if you've never won yourself? How do you know? You don't. You use someone else's definition of what winning is, of what success is. And maybe their definition of success involves hurting and harming other people to get ahead in life. But that's not who you are, so you'll never be successful. My definition of success has nothing to do with being hurtful or harmful to other people. It has everything to do with pushing myself to excel and be more of who I'm meant to be, who I already am, but am too shy to actually fully show. And these are things I'm realizing. These are things I'm definitely realizing. I have been the only one blocking my ability to reach that next step because I'm too busy concerning myself with everything and everyone else. And so the energy that would have been used to get to that next step to pull everyone else up with me has been used up. It's been used up. And we have to allow ourselves to really understand the structures of society are created to keep you enslaved. They just are. Society is not broken. That's what society is designed to do, to force compliance. Social subjugation. Ooh, Michael's coming out with the big words. Michael's coming out with the big words. Social subjugation. Let's Okay, so subjugation, the action of bringing someone or something under domination or control. To bring under control and governance as a subject, to conquer, to make submissive, to subdue. How many of you have experienced social subjugation? Woo! Where the people in the communities that you are part of are the very tools that are used by the person in control to keep you in control. How many of you have had a family member use other family members to control you, to dominate you? Because look, now everyone's stressed out because of you. You're making problems for everyone. Social subjugation. Is it en vogue? Free your mind and the rest will follow. Free your mind and the rest will follow. Wasn't it Bob Marley? None but ourselves can free our minds. Won't you help me sing? Redemption song. We have to allow ourselves to redeem ourselves in our own eyes. You're not seeking redemption in someone else's eyes. You have to redeem yourself for yourself. It's time. A lot of abundance is waiting, a lot of opportunity, a lot of just amazing, amazing, amazingness. I feel the shifting even more. Let your life change. Listen, you can always go back to the same old life if you want. If you don't like your newfound freedom, if you don't like your new power, you know, it's just, it's one of those things. It's just one of those things. Maybe you don't like it because someone else convinced you that you don't. I had many people convince me over the course of my lifetime that I don't like myself and I don't like my personal power. I don't like my attitude and I don't like anything about me. Why? Because I'm hard to control. Don't get me wrong. I don't just fight just to fight. I'm not some rebel without a clue, right? Just rebelling for the sake of rebelling. No, that's not me. As a matter of fact, for those that are able to hold a space for me that feels so safe, I actually become very submissive. I choose to be that way with those type of people. Short of that, fuck that. Been there, done that, fuck that shit. Been there, done that, fuck your shit. You know, it's fine. It's fine. It's perfectly fine that people don't appreciate the person that I am. That's fine. Why am I fine with that? Because their distaste for me is a very thing that will ensure that they won't bother me. They can go away. I'm finally at a point in my life where I don't need everyone to like me. I just need what's real, what's raw, what's right for me in my life. That's all I need. That's all I want. That's enough for me. It is enough for me to have a select few who I can share space with. It's enough for me. And I hope you are enough for you, or at least you get to a point where you begin to understand you actually are enough